This is the greatest Honda motorcycle ever made. No, not this one. We're getting close. Cue the intro. What's up, guys? I'm Sean from Srkcycles, and right now we have a 2011 Honda Shadow RS. This is a 750cc motor, and this is the same thing. So the way Shadow does it, they have the Shadow and the Phantom. There's a couple of Shadows. The way this works is this is the same frame and wheels and basically, same thing as the other bike, same engine, same transmission. But they do these mild little changes. And the changes that they've done on the RS is it's got a lower, flatter seat. It actually sits 3 inches lower than the normal Shadow. It has 2 degrees less rake. And the biggest difference is the smaller tank. It's more of a Sportster style tank. And it really kind of makes the bike look real aggressive and awesome looking. Also, the pegs are more mid-range, and it weighs 40 pounds less than the other Honda Shadows. And then the other awesome thing about this bike, the reason I paid way too much for it, and the reason I'm making no money when I sell it, is this awesome Honda Racing factory paint color. It's just the coolest looking paint scheme I've ever seen. Normally, I love white bikes. I think that bike is beautiful, but compared to this, man, this thing is awesome looking. So with all these mild little subtle changes, they pretty much made an entirely new bike, and I love it. I think it's awesome. You get the same super reliable power plant. It's motorcycles like this that have given Honda its incredible, good reputation, where you put oil, you put gas in it, changing the oil is questionable, like whether you have to do it or not, and make sure it's got a good battery, and the bike will always run. So what you have is this awesome looking, kind of Sportster style, not quite cafe, but awesome bike, where normally I might feel a little too small on a regular Honda Shadow. I feel awesome on this, and I think a bike like this is perfect for guys who are normally riding, okay, I think bikes like this are perfect for people who this might be their first bike, or a mid-range bike for mid-range riders, or for guys that want a second bike or a third bike. Let's say they have that full touring bike, and they're like, I want something a little lighter, a little more lighthearted that I can jump on, that I can ride, and I don't have to, I'm not moving around all this big weight, you know what I mean? I'm not doing big trips. I'm 6'2", I feel great, I feel very comfortable on this bike, and I think it's pretty awesome. So what really excites me most about this bike is that the way the industry is going, with all the tech and the ABS and the power modes and just all this tech that you put on these bikes, which I think is great. When it comes to longevity of a motorcycle, I'm honestly not so sure. This bike is simple. It's a motorcycle. It's got the least amount of buttons possible. On, off, start, horn, turn signals, lights. The legal limit of buttons, this bike only has that many buttons. It looks awesome. And I feel like a bike like this is gonna stand the test of time, that in 50 years from now, your grandkids are pulling this thing out of a barn or out of the garage, and they're pumped about it, they're cleaning it up, and they're still riding it. Just like I ride that Honda Trail 90, that very simple Honda Trail 90, which in many ways kind of concerns me about some of the new bikes coming out. Honda just came out with the Super Cub, but it has it's got a little key fob. So you need the key fob in your pocket in order to ride it. 50 years down the road from now, that key fob's gonna be lost. The system, that key fob connects to the computer, which makes it hard or almost impossible for you to actually start the thing without the key fob. And no one's gonna bother getting those bikes running. Just go get something different. That's why I love bikes like this. This thing could do the distance. It could last for a long time, and it's an awesome ride. Let's take it for a spin.